Hi folks, welcome to Cracker Culture. I'm your host, Smoking Joe, and here with my friend Gary the Lizard Dick Ward. Today we're doing another weekend unscripted show as normal because we did have a show planned, and as things happen, we can't control. I'm going to give you a little bit about what happened. I was doing a story with a friend of mine who was a first responder during 9/11. We done the preliminary interview, and we were set up to go to. He was going to Zoom call in and do the show, and then he called me later and he apologized, and I respect that. After talking to me and going through the preliminary of what he went through and the friends he lost on 9/11, he didn't feel like he was capable of talking about it on the 20-year anniversary. And he does want to come on. I'm not going to mention his name. The poor man is stuck in hell. I'm in New Jersey right now. He does live in Florida, has a home in Florida, and he can't get out of Jersey for a while. But I appreciate you, brother, and I understand. And for everybody that suffered the tragic losses from 9/11, as well as the families of the 13 soldiers that we lost in Afghanistan, our hearts go out to you folks. We love America, and we do anything to protect their freedoms. And I hope that everybody that's dealing with the emotions of this anniversary will know that this anniversary, I wished it could do what happened the day 9/11 happened 20 years ago. That was probably the most patriotic time in my life that I can remember. During that time, I owned a tattoo studio, and I can promise you that on 9/11, almost 98% of the work done from my shop was American flag, patriotic. So we're moving along. Well, we're out here in the swamps and beautiful the Everglades of Florida. My friend Lizard, he traveled 45 minutes over to see me, and like I said, we do this show and we basically talk about topics that affect Florida, and we try to have fun with it. But one thing that I can't have fun with is I want to tell you about a story that happened over by Lizard Dicks this week. We had two children that had decided they were going to try to pull off a Columbine style shooting in Lehigh. And this was, man, look, I hate to even bring topics up like this because all it does is it puts people charged up to go anti-gun, anti-NRA, and that's not what this is about. When I watched the news feed that was NBC put out when they went in the home, there's no way the parents didn't know what these kids have. There's no way the parents didn't know these kids didn't have weapons.
There was too many things, and whether or not they were displayed on the table like they showed in the news that I saw, they were still there. That's a lot of stuff to be hiding and to not know.
But it wasn't hid. I mean, when they went into the kids' rooms, you seen shotgun shells. You seen all types. They had actually studied the Columbine killings. These kids had studied the Columbine killings. And this is where I say, parents, if you can't whoop your kid's ass for stuff like this, you need your ass whooped. I mean, the only problem with gun safety is stupidity. Because if you ain't smart enough to protect your weapons, keep them locked up, and look, there ain't many children of teenage years that are, I would say, are mentally capable of not having a gun supervised. You know, I don't know, you was out in Oklahoma, I grew up here. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember going hunting, go up to North Carolina to my uncle, and we'd go up around Pisgah National Forest and deer hunt and stuff, and we hunted, but they done that with supervision. Well, I didn't tote my rifle around in my bedroom. My rifle was locked up in the gun case, and one of the family members kept that locked up. But I don't know. Well, that's pretty close to home for you there, Lizard. What do you think about that?
Well, I lived on a farm in probably my teen years, and I had a gun. I first had a 410 shotgun, and then I kind of upgraded to a 20 gauge shotgun. My father, they taught me, how to load it, how to unload it, where the safety was, and what to do and what not to do. I didn't really take a safety course or anything, but I really didn't hunt all that much either. It was just kind of the thought of having a gun. Where I lived, you had a gun, whether it was for an intruder breaking in your house in the middle of the night. When you're 50 miles from nowhere and 18 miles from the nearest town, you don't call the police.
Right.
What for? What are you going to call them for? You know what I'm saying? You just go ahead and shoot and whatever. If somebody's in your house, I believe you're allowed to shoot them. They're in your house.
Look.
They came through your door or through your window. Just go ahead and shoot. I really don't think you need to call anybody unless you just need somebody disposed of, so you can walk through the house.
Yeah, but I mean,
that sounds rude, but that's the way that we would do it there then.
Yeah, but
Maybe
we're
not
talking
now.
about middle school. This was a middle.
Yeah,
I said
I know.
high school before, and I want to take it back.
I went off on a
This was
tangent.
actually Harns Marsh Middle School in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Now, when growing up, Lehigh was a lot of marshland. I mean, they had people all the time. Even Pat Boone, the singer, used to advertise to buy in Lehigh. But Lehigh has drastically seemed to not be the vacation hotspot it once was. I'm not trying to be mean.
It's evolved.
It's got a little urban over there in Lehigh. I mean,
there's a lot of houses over there, and there's a lot of land, so it makes it look like that. There's still room for a lot of more people that are still moving there. So, but it's not your higher end properties by any means.
Well, I mean, I'm not even just saying higher end. I'm talking about the rate of crime in Lehigh now has escalated.
Oh,
and I'd say in the last 10 years, the rate of crime in Lehigh Acres has just unbelievable.
But you also think that the population has probably doubled in Lehigh in the last 10 years. Many vacant lots, that many new houses that they're building right now. I'm not saying that young people have the houses. I mean, if we're going back to that.
Right.
But about the story about the kids and the guns.
Well,
I don't understand how kids get the money for guns like that. I guess maybe they sell drugs or something. I don't know. Get the money for the drugs and I don't know. What is it? Notoriety that they seek by doing that?
I don't know. Because
after the deed is done, and you're in prison, and you're by yourself.
That toothpaste ain't going back in the tube. I mean, these kids was already charged with a felony. They got a felony over this. I mean, or they're charged with a felony. And moving on, I'm going to say one thing. I give props to Carmine and the Sheriff Carmine Marciano and the Lee County Sheriff's Department for getting on top of that for anybody that was hurt. Now,
if nobody got
hurt. Good job, Lee County Sheriff's Department. I mean, yes, sir, props to them guys.
Right on, brother.
Well, we can move along from that. Did you see that Peyton Oswald? I don't know if I'm sure that the name might not be familiar, but he's a comedian, actor, and he's played a lot of roles as the kind of little nerdy geek, or the I don't know what you want to call him. He's kind of like the I guess he tries to play like the lovable curmudgeon or something. I don't know how to explain that guy, but he canceled his shows in Florida and Utah, and because that they refused to fail with his COVID request. Okay, folks, look, I've said all along, I'm aware that there's a sickness out there. I don't know anybody that doesn't know somebody or hasn't been touched by this I want to call it a social experiment because of what it seems like it feels to me, but either way. But this comedian, venues not agreed with his request that attendees show proof of vaccination before they come in. Now, where are we going with this, man? You got to show proof of vaccination to go watch a comedian who's on stage. Now, how close are you going to get to him? You know the arenas around here. I don't know where he was supposed to play, Hertz or wherever, but how close are you going to get to that man? Do you think, is it going to travel that far?
Who's the guy that would come out? I don't know if it's Mick Jagger or who. He's come out on stage and be screaming out the lyrics, and you can imagine just saliva going out like 30
That's
feet.
like all of them.
All right. So I know where you're going, and I hate to go back around that way, but I would say maybe in a concert situation like that, it might get pretty hairy in the first 5 rows or so.
It's not even
I'm just
first
saying.
rows. Come on.
I don't know. I'm just talking.
In this day and time, man, you can't get you can't get close enough to throw a hand grenade at him. What are you talking about? Well, look, it's just got crazy now. We're here in Gary lives in Lee County. I have one of our daughters goes to school in Lee County. Thank God it's a charter school because we're not tolerating some of the stuff that the superintendent there has put up with. But I'm going to tell you, I was as proud a citizen of Florida as I could be when Spencer Roach called for that superintendent in the Lee County School Board who sucks. Now I'm just going to tell you, the school board superintendent here in Lee County, he does what he wants. He don't care. He don't realize that the citizens' taxes pays his salary apparently, because he don't listen to nobody. He just runs roughshod over the school board, and they follow right along. And I know that that's the topic that you don't really talk much about because you're not really familiar with it, but. Again, Spencer Roach did formally say that he would ask for the superintendent, ask Ron DeSantis to ask for the superintendent's resignation effective Monday at 7 p.m. Man, hey, Tuesday morning, man, I can't wait to watch the news, see what happens. But anyway, so we got a lot of crazy stuff going on in Florida right now. But otherwise, I mean, there's a lot of 9/11 celebrations today. I think a lot of patriots met in Naples and Cape Coral, and they met up over at the Indian motorcycle shop where somebody drove away with a new Indian.
Well, I seen or heard on the radio or the TV, I think it was the TV, where they were listing the names of the people that had passed away, and so I'm sure that took quite a while. But, yeah.
Well, like I said, and folks, we try to be humorous and stuff, and we continue to try. But when you're dealing with serious topics like tragedies and 9/11 and children going into middle schools with handguns not being supervised by their parents, it's hard to find the humor in some of this stuff. And but there's a lot of good going on around here. Like I said, when I said before, I mean, I've been absolutely impressed with the patriotism I've seen in Lee and Collier County over this weekend, because it was absolutely, there was an event somewhere at every moment of the day, and
Wow.
So, all right, folks, well, enough about all that. Let's get out here and discuss a few other topics that's going on. So today, my friend Lizard, he went to the craft show. How was the craft show?
Well, I did go to the craft show. I actually went to the Lee County Civic Center at the craft show. Upon entrance to the parking lot, I noticed the line formed way out into the parking lot to get in. If you had not pre-purchased your tickets to the craft show, it was going to be some time to get in the gate. I had some folks that needed some special needs and weren't able to walk and stand in line, so I was not able to go to the craft fair. I ended up going to an antique mall down on 41 next to Sam's Club, which I ate at a beautiful place. Some like, some don't. It's called Skyline Chili.
And they're not a sponsor of this show, so
No.
you know. And if you want us to continue to talk about your products on our show, you better be sending some cash. You can do that at Buy Me a Coffee, or you can buy something off our merch shop.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize the trademark infringement, so I apologize.
No, look, me and Miss Jessie, and I apologize. I normally get a haircut and a mustache trim and all that stuff. At this point, I'm looking a little shaggy. However, Miss Jessie got her did, and that took some extended amount of time.
Yep.
And so old Smoking Joe's gonna look shaggy until he can get back into the
That's
barber
right.
shop.
Until he saves enough money to get his done after he had to pay
So
for
y'all
that
better
haircut.
buy me a coffee quick, 'cause I can't.
Yeah.
Y'all know how much it costs to get a woman's hair done nowadays, man.
He's thirsty.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, I just don't get it. How can a woman? Now she didn't get her hair cut. Now I want to tell you, she went to this beauty parlor and she got the girl. And look, hands down, her hair looks beautiful. The woman done a fabulous job, but she didn't cut it, and it still cost me damn over $100.
That's what I want to know. They get their nails done once a week.
No,
I can understand. Look, I work with my hands, my fingernails. They get all cut up, beat up, broken, chipped, dirt underneath of them, all that shit. It just goes, pardon me, all that stuff.
you get that from holding the sign that says we'll work for food?
Yes, all that because the dirt going by from the cars slams up against me. But I don't mind that. But if you get your nails done on Monday and all you're doing is like pecking away on a computer keyboard or something like that all week, how are they damaged again that you really need them again done the following week? And they sell that. I've seen that down there at the Walmart. They got little tubes of polish that you could really do your own, like half the price than going down and having them done. So that's what I'm really not understanding. And then if we got to beg to get a haircut. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. Just a little rant there.
Have you? I don't know if you've seen some of these new challenges that's going on. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on the internet right now.
The milk crate?
So the milk crate, that's a whole other stupid ghetto Olympics thing, I think. That's just crazy. But
I was going to try that milk crate thing, then I found out I was lactose intolerant. So I couldn't do it.
Well, what I was going to ask now, look, folks, I guess after watching some of these videos and stuff, I thought maybe it'd be a good time for me to tell you why you should contribute to our show. Just like, I don't know if you've seen these $10,000 scholarship videos. People go on with the person they admire and tell about their past life and what makes them admire them. And that helps to somehow motivate you to want to give them a scholarship. And so I think we'll try that today with the Smoking Joe Buy Me a Coffee at Smoking Joe or the merch shop Smoking Joe Nation. I'm going to tell you what I admire about Gary Ward. Now, Gary Ward's a hard-working man. He come down here from Oklahoma, and when he come down here, he didn't know where he was going. And this is true. He looked at a map and closed his eyes and stuck his finger down, and he said, "This is it." Well, that took him to Key West. And Key West, he told me he lived off of, what you say, Kraft macaroni and cheese every day or whatever for a while?
Nope.
Yeah, lived off crack.
4 for $1.
And
The
that
boxes, the long, tall, slender boxes, 4 for $1.
and look, he done that for a long time, and he was living there with his sister, and she was eating Kraft macaroni and cheese and stuff. And I asked him what he done for work when he was there, and he never did explain it. So, you know, this is really why you should buy us a coffee. Because from what I understand, Gary was prostituting down there in Key West.
Yeah.
And you seen them videos, man. Them girls talk to their mamas like that. They talking about their mamas, their daddies was their pimps.
Oh my God.
Look, come on, folks, man. It is funny, but it's disrespect. If I'd ever done that to my mom,
Yeah, I couldn't really be a prostitute. I might be a prostitute. I don't think I can get any money out of the deal. Probably not.
No, and it's like everything. Look, and people, I love you. And, you know, I try to accept friend requests from anybody. Whether you like me or don't, I'll let you come in. But I got one question.
Just one.
How do I set me up an adult sex app on WhatsApp and collect money? Because all I get is these girls sending me these half-naked pictures, want me to join their WhatsApp adult chat. I mean, come on, man. It's like, it's ridiculous.
I never got those. I guess they failed to send them to me. Yeah, see there again. That's what I'm talking about. But hey, you know.
Well, I don't know why they like me so much. It just must be my sexy physique.
I'd probably forget it they were around anyway, knowing me. probably, yeah. It's
No.
getting older, you know.
Yeah, you're getting older. You're a damn relic for sure. But the weekends here in Florida, it's like today it was hot this morning. It's starting to cool down tonight. It feels nice.
Yeah, but it's still overcast, kind of looking cloudy, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think we had a spot of rain, but no,
It's Saturday night, isn't it?
it's Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live.
Saturday night, and folks, so you know, I mean, out here in the swamp, we have to pre-record and then upload this because it takes about four big field mice and a little wheel out here running for about 3 hours to get the video to go out.
Yeah, do you see the observation tower behind us? Joe runs up to the top and he hoists the flag. Then there's a flag about 5 miles away and a guy with binoculars. He raises his flag to signal to the other people down the way. That's how we communicate down here in the swamp.
Well, we try to do these videos on the weekend because they only let me bring Gary out of the mental home on the weekends for a couple hours.
I get a weekend pass because they're short-staffed right now, and also they're a little short on medication. So they figure if I go ahead and take the weekend off unmedicated, that's not their problem. You know what I'm saying?
But he's vaccinated, don't you worry,
I am
folks.
vaccinated.
Absolutely.
I got it. Look, Ernie, he's gone.
Oh,
But hey, I ain't saying he won't
he
come
ain't
back.
totally gone now. He's
There he is right there. Anyway, thank you, Moderna. Appreciate it. Thank you, President. Appreciate it.
yeah, you like it all, don't you?
Hey, send me a check, brother. Getting a little bit low on funds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no,
Hey, we're in the clouds now, bro. I'm kind of feeling a little funny. Kind of just floating around here in the
all
clouds
right,
and
man.
stuff. Look
Calm
at this.
down, calm down.
All right, sorry. So I
Uh,
was just admiring our new artwork.
he's in the clouds.
I apologize.
So, no, I've been trying to think, you know, it's really rough when you try to do a show that you've already done a show and you come back in, you switch it all up. We wanted to tell you that we are going to be more involved. I have spoke to Marvin the Marshman, and we might be seeing him as early as next week.
All right, Marvin.
Him and Turtle Soup.
Yep.
They were out this weekend. I spoke to them via their battery pack phone they carry out there in the 10,000 Islands. Man, that's a sight to see. Old Marvin
Has he got
showed.
a little red wagon, or has he got with like a skid, like an airboat on it?
No. He's got an old hollowed out piece of cypress, and he got some kind of rig with the weed eater that he propels down through the swamp with. He's a character. Yeah, that's and Gary's vibrator went off. That's probably the home saying it's time for him to get back.
Yeah, the asylum is calling.
Asylum's calling, won't know where he's at.
I guess I'm supposed to check in every few hours.
Yeah.
If not, I guess they alert the authorities. But I don't know. Maybe that's why the law enforcement's heavier in my area. Sorry. No.
Yeah, I don't think that's got nothing to do with the law enforcement being here in your area.
Oh, that's right. I live in Lehigh. Sorry.
Yeah, the Lehigh legend right there, boys. Lehigh legend. I want to tell you, I know a lot of you gator hunters out there with your bang stick tonight trying to tag out, and I got to give a shout out to Mr. Levi. I was in the need of something from Miss Jessie's schoolwork and one of her projects she's doing, and Mr. Levi stepped up and gave me a call, and hopefully this week we'll be getting us a little bit of gator down this way. It's already rolled and salted, you know.
That's right, baby.
So, but thank you, Levi, and all you gator hunters out there. Y'all stay safe, man. We know what it's like out in the swamp. Gary's from Oklahoma. He thinks he wants to go out there and
I would like to go python hunting. I mean, I know it's a dangerous situation and all. And one thing I just really don't understand is, all right, you got this marshland. It's a certain temperature. Why can't you go out there with some kind of temperature gun, and because snakes are warmer or colder, find the bastards with your little radar temperature gun, okay? But anyway, who am I to say I've never been, but I would like to go wrangle one unless it tried to eat me, and then of course I would not be ready for it.
Now I know there's some of you fellas that watch me out here is out there hunting these things. If y'all want to take him,
I'll go.
I don't believe he'll go.
As long as that
But
sucker don't wrap itself around my neck, well, probably that'd be the first thing it would do. But hey,
But
yeah.
if you do decide, one of you
I'll
guys, you want to take him out there,
Yeah.
have you ever held a snake?
Well, I saw one on TV, but I'm just saying that surely to God they don't move that fast. You can grab a hold of that sucker and just, I mean, I know I can't pick one up. I'd have to have somebody hold it for me or something for pictures. I'm an old man.
You know
bro.
they bite. What you do?
Bite?
Yeah, they'll bite. What you doing with that damn big python?
The hell they gonna bite you for? They squeeze you to death?
They bite you first and then squeeze.
Well, I don't want no part of that. I'd switch that on. I don't want to do that no more.
Welcome to Florida.
Yeah.
No, I would. I tell you what, I would probably send a film crew out to film that.
Look, I'm from Oklahoma, and this is another thing that really bothers me too. People want to go.
Why would you tell anybody?
People want to go noodling. Now, why in the hell would you stick your hand in a hole underneath the water to have a catfish bite your hand and you drag it out from underneath there and say, "Here it is." All right, that sucker's got teeth on it. Okay. I don't care if you got a glove or not. The teeth could, I don't know.
Now let me get this. You're against noodling, but you want to go to hunt pythons.
Pythons, I don't see them having a whole row of teeth like they're gonna like a Godzilla looking thing.
Well, there's other things out here besides pythons.
Okay, then I'll go wrestle something else. I'll wrestle a panther. You know what I'm saying? I can't because they're endangered. See what I'm saying? That's against the law.
Yeah.
There's only 20. For the last 20 years, I've been told there's only 27 of them left, but I've heard about 30 of them getting killed, so I don't know how many of them really left.
Well, look,
I don't know.
I love all the creatures we got.
Oh,
here
I
in
like the
swamp,
Panthers,
man.
but I think they don't really know how many's out there because a lot of them's gotten killed, but there's still a lot of them. But we keep building homes and encroaching in on their land where they used to be, so... thank God the Everglades is massive. It's a lot of land. So.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different wildlife here in Florida that are native to Florida that people up north, they've seen bears and this and that. But it ain't just, we got bears, we got a combination of all kind of stuff that can do seriously bodily damage to you.
And the most dangerous one of all that people underestimate or underestimate, the fire ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
I think instead of the death penalty, just take somebody and face plant them into a pile of ants and stake them down to the ground where they can't move and just let the ants eat them.
Well, now you speak about fire ants, and you being from Oklahoma, you're probably not familiar with one of our really, really tough insects here. I think most people call it the velvet worm. You ever seen a velvet worm?
I have not seen a velvet worm.
It looks like a caterpillar, and it looks like fur on it, like actual fur.
Yeah, right.
But it's toxic, man. That thing gets on you, and they say there's nothing they can do for you. I mean, they say it's one of the worst pains you've ever had, and if you get in contact with one of them velvet worms, when they land on you, the secretions where they walk, that's toxic. Their fur on their back, that's toxic, man. It's just there's a lot of scary stuff out here when you're in Florida if you don't know about it. You don't think I'm telling a story about that? You look that velvet worm up.
Some say there's a skunk ape out there too.
We're talking about, you know who Cousin Larry is. We do have a Cousin Larry report. The Cousin Larry, Cousin Larry come into some cash.
Yeah. Usually when that happens, guess where Cousin Larry's not?
Look, I talked to Marvin the Marshman, and look.
Was it more than $20? I mean, because when you say cash for Cousin Larry, because he's from the swamp, so he ain't gonna.
Look, he's stupid money right now. I mean,
shit!
It might not be big money to some, but I tell you what, I was told that Cousin Larry is taking about a 3-week vacation. And when he comes back, we will have Cousin Larry on the show. As a matter of fact, I don't want to give the bag out too much, but a lot of folks know I do the Swamp Santa every year, and this year we are working with some people where we will set up. We're going to try to set up a few places with the swamp sleigh and the swamp Santa. And on certain days, I think Marvin the Marshman is going to come out and bring turtle soup. That's an amazing creature, that turtle soup, man. He is huge, a big, a massive tortoise. They say it's got supernatural powers and stuff. But we'll have Marvin the Marshman and turtle soup out with us. And yes, Cousin Larry has agreed to make some appearances.
Dang.
Cousin Larry is agreed to come out and do meet and greets on the Cracker Culture podcast. So we are going to be doing some live podcast at a few events around the area. And if we'll give you more information once we secured the locations, and we're 100% that what days that each person's going to be there. I'll be there, and hopefully we can get Lizard out there. But definitely we'll have one or all of those creatures. I shouldn't call them a family creature. Well, one Cousin Larry or Marvin the Marshman and Turtle Soup out at some of these locations, and we'll let you know ahead of time. So make sure you come out. Meet Cousin Larry, meet Marvin, and check out Turtle Soup. Get you a t-shirt. You can get you, I had an encounter of Cousin Larry t-shirt, and you can have the encounter right then and there, you know. So we're looking forward to that. What do you got planned for the rest of the weekend there, Lizard?
Well, I should be mowing the grass, but I think I'll look out the window and watch it grow for the weekend in preparation for next week's mowing. And what we call that in the business is seeding. When you see the seed tops come up in your yard, let them just go ahead and flow out, and they produce more seeds, which in turn gives you more grass, which in my mind thickens it. At least that's what I tell my wife while I'm sitting on the couch while she's telling me to mow the lawn. I'm not a real big football, so I don't know if football's going on tomorrow. Probably just be watching romantic movies on AMC or something with my wife.
I think tomorrow is opening day, so I believe there'll be some football. Now, look, I played football, but you know, as far as watching it, I gave up on pretty much all professional sports when America went stupid.
Yeah, are you talking about the kneeling business and all that?
Man.
Yeah, I agree. No, it ain't hey.
That's not the platform for you to stage any type of negativity. And as a business owner, I can't understand the first minute that one of them team owners had tolerated any of that, because I wouldn't have. I don't care how valuable the person
I remember
was.
all through grade school, all through even middle school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance when we got to school. It was over the loudspeaker, and even this. And this was a special treat. Maybe some people today wouldn't think this. If you were chosen, you were allowed to go to the office, and you could say over the loudspeaker the Pledge of Allegiance. And then if there was like some word for the day or thought for the day, you were allowed to say that, and you were like felt so cool because you were saying it over the loudspeaker. That for real happened in our schools.
Well, and that was, look, I feel like when we were kids, the teachers tried to interact with us children more on the level of interaction wasn't so much like it is now. To me, it's like a conditioning. And I can't, when I was growing up, if you got in trouble in school, you got in trouble at home. Now the trouble at school is between the parents disagreeing with the teachers. You know what I mean? Now you've got this parent that's upset with this teacher, and you know that automatically puts animosity in your child's life. Because you know, look, when we go home, there's home talk. We might not say something out in public or to somebody because we know that they're special. Right. We don't want to hurt their feelings. You know, my mom always said, that child's blessed. That's what she said, that child's blessed. Just let it go. But when you get home, you know how it goes. Lord, can you believe what they let that child do or say? Or that teacher, she don't know what she's talking. You put that in the kid's mind. Your parents is discussing their conflict with the teacher, and it's wrong. It shouldn't happen that way, but we all know it does.
Right.
little ears hears.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And so that's the thing. I really think that this the conflict in schools, and I don't know if you just seen that. There's two teachers that come to mind that's just been recently, from what I understand, dismissed. They don't never say that they're totally dismissed, whatever. You had one teacher that had packed up the American flag, couldn't remember where she would, been told her kids they could say pledge allegiance to the LBQ2 zoo, whatever alphabet flag that she had up, and had kids actually saying pledge allegiance to this rainbow transgender flag.
What I don't understand is, when we were kids, this wouldn't even have been a thought.
No.
You wouldn't even have come up. This might have been something funny to do, but you wouldn't have done it.
That would have been funny, not the way I come up. Look, and
like people stomping on the flag, people burning the flag. You might have got shot for something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's a different time, and then you had this other teacher that was he was an Antifa teacher. He was in there and was proud that he'd been teaching his ideology and forming these children in these beliefs that are totally anti-American.
right.
How do these people get hired? How do we not see this before they ever had their first day? I don't understand that.
Right.
And look, I said before, there was somebody had mentioned that a teacher in Cape Coral, that their child come home and said they didn't know if their teacher was a male or a woman. Their parents said, "What do you mean?" So, well, they said the teacher said, "I'm not Mr., I'm not Mrs., I'm MX." I don't even know what that means. I'm being for real. Maybe I'm just a stupid country boy, but I don't know what an MX means.
Right. Maybe that's metrosexual.
That ain't metrosexual. That don't mean the same meaning. Metrosexual means one of them man bun guys that's all frilly and cleans up real nice and gets manicures and pedicures and stuff. That's no. I don't know what kind of sexual it is, but man, it's just mind blowing. And the thing of it is when in my lifetime did I ever give a damn if somebody was homosexual or
if they wasn't coming on to you or trying to mess with you, why would you worry about it? What business would it be of yours?
Well,
I mean, really.
And I was riding today. I was riding down the highway and I seen a car that had a pride sticker on the back and and I got to thinking about that. I said, well, I might put a sticker on the back of my truck that says Larry Lives or Cracker Culture or something like that. And is that the same?
Could you just put one? No, would you put one on yours that said you were heterosexual?
Well,
would you put a bumper on your car, sticker on your car that says I'm heterosexual?
Well, am I advertising? Is that?
Well, you don't have to.
If I put on Cracker Culture, I'm advertising that I want you to watch the show.
I understand.
If you put on a Pride thing that says Pride, are you advertising for a new piece of ass?
No, well, man, they want you to know they're proud. They're proud of the Pride people.
But it ain't like it's not no superhuman strength that they can kiss a pickle. I mean, what are they proud of? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I got no problem with people being you don't understand. It just for the life of me, you don't want to be discriminated against. But hell, who would know if you wasn't wearing the damn banner? For real.
They obviously want you to know. They obviously want to put their platform in front of you for you to see that they are of Pride. Okay. Now,
are you speaking from the union perspective? You have self-knowledge that this is what it is?
I'm speaking from their car bumpers perspective. Okay.
Look,
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, look, if they put it out there, they obviously want you to know that they're very proud of being having a Pride sticker on their car. Does that mean that they're part of the LGBTQ LMNOP society? I don't know. But what I do know is someone stuck that sticker on that car.
Well,
Now,
yeah, I
if
might
you-
have stuck that sticker on your car as a joke, but I mean, you know, the truth is, why would you advertise it? I don't understand the reason. I don't look. I mean, I don't know anything I'm proud enough other than be a cracker to put the pump on the bumper sticker, and I only pump that on there is because I'm trying to promote myself. You know what I mean? You know, I don't understand the concept. And look, I'll give you perspective. There was a lot of conflict about a boy up in in Central Florida. He's a young boy, and he had a pickup truck. And he put vinyl letters across the whole back windshield that says, "I eat ass." I don't know why that is his meal of choice. He put it there. He got pulled over. He went to court over it and all this stuff. While albeit was funny, I don't know that it's a good advertisement tool.
Right.
You know, I don't
Well,
know.
it drawing attention to his truck.
But that's what I'm saying. It's what it's about. It's about attention.
Right.
You wear a pride flag, you want attention. You don't want to be discriminated against, but you want attention.
Back in the day, if they had that problem, we'd have to have an outhouse with 3 holes there, one for men, women, and in between. So I don't know how that would work out. I mean, three outhouse holes, but what are you going to do? Most folks barely afford an outhouse, so there you
Well,
go.
speaking of outhouses, you mentioned something earlier that was funny. You said something about you was talking about you was watching the rodeo. Now, being out here where I live right down the road from the rodeo here in Henry County, LaBelle Rodeo, and so I enjoy the rodeo. Most folks from around here do. What was you saying? You wanting to ride a bull or something?
Well, you know, I was couch surfing and I was sitting there watching bull riding on TV, and I thought, what in the hell? Why would you even what would you possess you to say I'd like to go do something like that? I mean, you're sitting on a bull. You're not only sitting on a bull. You're on your hand. Your wrist is tied to this bull, okay, with leather straps. You're sitting on this sucker, and people are holding the bull and the gate closed while you're sitting on it. Oh, you say it's only going to be for 7 or 8 seconds? Well, maybe. So, yeah, the gate's open and away you go. How much money can you possibly win for a stunt like
Man,
that?
that's big money. That's
Well,
man, look. Some
look,
of these competitions out here, and boys bring home a big, beautiful belt buckle and a lot of cash.
and here's the next thing. You see the guys out there, I don't know what they're called, the rodeo clowns or whatever. I know they're supposed to be
rodeo clown.
whatever the hell they are. They're supposed to keep the bull away from the rider to keep him safe. What is there an application that says you're going to risk your life for minimal amounts of money to keep this bull away from the rider? What the hell? No, I'll pay $8, sit up in the stands and watch you get killed. No, I'm not doing none of that.
Look,
No.
you was raised up in Oklahoma. I mean, you didn't never. What kind of? I thought you was raised on a farm. What kind of farming did y'all do?
Well, I mean, we did a little agriculture. And my father, had us plant about 2 or 3 acres of potatoes, and we all scattered when it was time to pick them up out of the ground because you know what? Hey, even a 10-foot section's hard to do, you know. But so we did that. We had chickens and we had guineas. I don't know if you know them birds that they make a lot of noise when people drive around, you know. So my dad, I can't really say this because the SPCA and all that, but you know, my dad had a field day one night with the 22 caliber rifle, you know, and no more squawking. But anyway, sorry on the better projects and I'm talking about. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you was talking about bull riding. You never rode a horse or anything.
Well, I rode a horse, or let's just put it to you this way: I sat on top of a horse and he rode around, and was with a party of 4 or 5 of us who was riding through the woods. And
What kind of horse was it?
this one I was on was an Appaloosa.
You sure? Wasn't a Shetland pony?
Well, I know it wasn't a Shetland pony because when it didn't want to cross the creek and reared up, it threw me off, and I went quite a distance before I landed on a stump on the ground. Now, there was an injury. I don't want to discuss that. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bruised ego and some ribs. And had to get back on her and ride back to the house. That's probably one of the few last times I rode a horse. Now, I shouldn't say this, probably gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I did ride horses with my ex. We had to go over here to Gateway. They had some industrial horses. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. These are short-legged, long-boned horses that take the kind of weight that you're gonna need to transport the personnel. Had a good time over there. The horses don't travel so far because they get winded. You see how big they are. But anyway, that worked out pretty good there.
I think if anybody ain't figured out what this nut is saying, he's talking about the excessive size of his ex-wife.
Now, I just want the record to show that I didn't say that. He did.
Man, I'm telling you, you don't never know what's going to happen on this show, that's for sure. Well, look, folks, it's getting late. Folks, we appreciate y'all watching. I'm Smoking Joe with my co-host, Gary Lizard Dick, and we appreciate you watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. You can check out our page that is the Cracker Council on Facebook. We also have a page which is Smoking Joe Nation. Our website, smokingjoenation.com. You can go to our merchandise shop, or you can support our goofiness at Buy Me a Coffee Smoking Joe. Thank you again. I love you, Florida. God bless the United States. Only He can help us now. Love, peace, and gator grease. See ya. Kill it.
Kill it. Done. Did it.